Welcome, Virgo, to your end of the month reading for August. Hope you friends are doing great out there. If you friends like this, please like and subscribe. Okay, Virgo, let's see what's going on with you and your energy, or what you're thinking, feeling, or the energy surrounding you for the end month. Best message for Virgo, please. Best message. Four of Pentacles, really holding on. Feels like you have somebody that's holding really tight to you. Could be an earth sign like yourself. It could be another Virgo. It could be a Taurus or a Capricorn. It doesn't have to be, but it does feel like they are holding very tight to you. Like, you're mine, I'm not letting you go. Okay. Four of Pentacles. Clarifying on the Four of Pentacles is not only going to clarify on this card, but the entire reading. Choosing wisely. A lot of choosing wisely of what to do about the situation. Let's see what the situation is talking about before we even figure out why are we choosing wisely. It does feel like they are holding tight. You might even feel a little entrapped to them. Yeah, spiritual union, there it is. Passions ignited, man. And accelerated motion. So in the recent past, the passions ignited was definitely there. It could have been, a month ago, a couple months ago, a week ago, a year ago, who knows? But the passions ignited was definitely there. They definitely got your heart was ignited. It feels like you really got their heart pumping. Okay. They had your heart pumping, but for some reason, I feel like you got their heart pumping more than your heart was pumping. And that happens, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That just means that you had really tapped into their passion. And, some of us, we do feel more than the other person. And this one, it just feels like, look what you've done to me, Virgo. And it really just, and it's, like I said, it's not to say that they didn't get your passion ignited either. Your passion's ignited as well. It just feels like they really felt it way more so than you. And it could be why they're holding so tight to you. Because it really does feel like it's them holding tight to you. Now, remember, crosswatcher, it could be the other way around. But for now, it really feels, you almost feel trapped. They're holding so tight. You've seen a lot of directions that could be going. It really felt like you were pulled by the Chariot. It could have been like the perfect timing for this Chariot to come through. Even a blessing. You could even have manifested this person, or this person manifested you. Really with the Chariot over here. But it felt like there was a lot of things you guys could do. It feels like you went a lot of places. You could have traveled a lot of places. Shoot, for some of you, they might have even bought you a new car. I'm like, seriously. Right? They wanted to be the emperor. They're in an emperor mode. You could even be dealing with a Cancer now, or a Aries. But they felt like they were very, very serious about this situation. Like I said, I think for some of you, and probably the majority of you, I think this person, it was way more serious about this relationship than in the very beginning than you even took serious, right? Like, they're so serious. And I think you knew that though too. Something about them that, you kind of opened them up, taught them what love was, something of this nature, but they really took to you and really took this very serious and seen you as a very stable person. Not only were they the emperor, but I think that they also seen you as the emperor, the big daddy, the big mama, however you want to say it. But it's almost like they wanted to kind of give that back to you as well. So they wanted you to see them as being serious and stable as well. And a lot of times they already were anyways. But for some reason, it feels like a perception as well. And it's like, it doesn't mean that they weren't stable and that they didn't have good things. I mean, shit, like I said, they could have bought you a car. That's not the thing. The thing is, I think they also wanted you to perceive them as being super serious and overly stable. Does that make sense? Right? Maybe because maybe they have a little emotional problems to begin with. Sometimes if we have some emotional insecurities, we'll play the part, right? To make us look a little bit bigger, bad, and a little maybe more badass than we are, right? I kind of have that feeling, especially if this person was male. Now, I'm just saying, because that just seems that that was the piece that they wanted to play. They wanted to play the big stable person, overly stable. And for you, Virgo, you're just reflecting upon the situation and you're like, okay, and you're really, and you might even have been a little withdrawn. Even in the beginning, maybe you even knew, maybe you had that they were perceiving themselves a little, bigger, better than they really were. Maybe you knew that they were a little bit, even maybe on a high horse, to get your attention. But it's also because they did want your attention. It wasn't because of deceiving you or anything like that. It was because of the way that you had caught their attention and the way that their passions were ignited towards you. So they felt that they needed to be better. Even though they're an emperor, they're already better. But our hindsight's 20/20, and the way they perceive themselves is going to be different from, what other people perceive of them. So, and that's really what it is. So you're kind of reflecting on this going, But they've got your passions ignited as well. Be rest assured about that. And yes, be rest assured about that. But you did take some time out, and it does feel like you did kind of withdraw a little bit, not giving 100%. And it does feel like the emperor over here, he was giving 100%. Well, of course he was. He's the emperor. I'm serious, and I'm giving you 100. I'll buy you a car. I'll buy you a mansion, and maybe they did. They did come, with keys to the car. Maybe they did come with luxuries, buying you new clothes, doing things, and it does feel like for somebody, they really did put themselves out there to show you how much love that they really wanted to give you. But you were just kind of calm and cool about it. And in some ways, it even feels in the past, you even kind of withdrew a little bit. Like your passions had you ignited, and you were really like, I really do like this person a lot, or I really do love this person a lot. But it almost feels like there's Virgo time, meaning, whoa, I need some like relaxed times, like hideout time, some R&R, some me time, right? Some Virgo me time. And it just feels like they're really holding tight to this. So with the spiritual union over here, it's like, yeah, you guys are doing a great job. The unity is great. It feels like you guys are really coming together, and you're really having heart-to-heart conversations, and things are going really well. It's just that you find them a little clingy. That's the only thing I can say it, right? Because it could even be clingy. It's not the card of real clinginess, but when you're holding so tight to something like that, you might feel like they're taking it a little too, I'm just like clingy. They're holding on a little too tight. So it's almost like choosing wisely of what to do. Over here, you're choosing wisely to say, yeah, that's cool. And I really do love you, and I do this and that, but I'm also choosing wisely to take a little time out because I'm not that clingy. I don't need to be that clingy. And I do believe that this clinginess started here. I just think that because it was a fresh new relationship, it was a little overbearing at first, but it was still not overbearing to the point where it was like, okay, I'm going to take time out. And they're like, okay, you take time out, right? But now it's to the point where it's like, I don't know, Virgo, it feels like if I say I'm going to take time out, you're like, why? Why? We're doing so good. Why? So you have to choose wisely about, and it feels like choosing wisely about, like what to say. Like it almost feels like more like, communication. Like how to make them understand. Like, you don't need to hold my hand across the street. You don't need to call me 552,000 times a day. I don't know. I just feel that for somebody. And so it feels like it's getting a little over the top for you. Yeah, look at that. It's almost like you need to make the leaps and bounds to say, okay, you know what? We are having a great communication, and I love the togetherness with the spiritual union. It is actually a relationship that you really actually adore and you actually do love because your passion is ignited. It's just, it feels a little over the top. Yeah, and they're not perceiving it as being over the top. So as you're over here trying to find new cycles and find new ways of making them understand that they don't have to call you 952,000 times, you're trying to make them understand this, but you're trying to keep your calm and cool about the situation because it seems like they may be a little over the top and a little over extravagant. So who's going to be calm and cool in this situation? It's going to have to be you, because it seems like they're a little hyper. Yeah, I'm just saying. A little hyper, a little extreme, you know? And maybe they're not. Maybe they are calm and cool, right? Maybe they're calm and cool too. They're just really over the top and extreme. But it does look like they're making this move faster than you want it to move. And that's really what's going on. This relationship is moving so fast, and it's so clingy, and it's so tight that I have to say, for some of you, you just feel like you don't have any breathing room. Yeah. 10 of Cups, it's almost like I love you so much, and I want to be with you so much, but you're pushing me into a corner over here to where it's like I can't breathe. You know, I need to be myself too, because I'm not ready for marriage. I just want a relationship. And yes, I love you, but you're pushing it way over the edge. Yeah. 3 of Coins. Let's go. Let's do this. There's over recognition. So it almost feels like they might be over recognizing everything that you're doing. And yeah, they love and adore you so much that they just like always recognizing you. And you're the one that they always talk about, right? And don't get me wrong, this is a beautiful reading. Everybody would love to have a reading where we love to know that somebody would be there for us like this. They buy us this, they love us this way, they do that. But I think what the point is that when the ties get too tight, you need them to loosen up just a little bit, right? Because it feels like I said, I think it's about breathing room. Not feeling like you can, you know, sit down, tie your shoes without them breathing down your neck. I'll do that for you. And it's like, that's great and all. And that is like so awesome in a lot of ways, but in some ways it's not, right? And they're recognizing you as being the love and the adoration, and they love you and adore you. And I see that you love and adore them as well. It just feels like there needs to be that breathing room. And they do speak. They do speak of, in fact, they even make up some fabricated stories. I would say that it's not lies, okay, Virgo? It's not lies. They just make up you to be like Wonder Woman or Superman, okay? Like they tell these stories that are a little fabricated, okay? And it's like, if you were to hear these stories, you'd be like, well, wait a minute, I don't do that. You know what I mean? But they're not bad. They're over fabricated to make you into a superhero. Okay. Like they have the best thing in the world. I mean, it's almost to the point where it's kind of like, my dad said, right? My dad's like Superman. You know, he builds walls in 2 hours. I watched him build the house. I mean, it's like super fabricated, like you built Rome in a night, right? And that's just because that's the way they see you. That's awesome. I mean, it really is awesome, right? I mean, you can't deny that that's awesome, but it is a little over the top. So I do feel where you're seeing the kind of over the top, like, wow, choose wisely. I'm trying to think about this. Yeah. So as you're building Rome in a night in their eyes, and they're actually telling people this, right? My girlfriend is so hot. She is the most beautiful woman in the universe. And you're like, really, the universe? The whole universe? Or just California? No, the whole universe. Right? She is Wonder Woman. So, yeah, and then you're going to hear these stories coming back at you, and you'd be like, the heck you say, he said, or she said? Oh, I totally cannot do that. But it's going to be something awesome, you know, because they're going to make up some story. Like when she was in high school, she used to swim 12 laps in under 5 minutes, you know, and you're like, yeah, right, okay. You know, something spectacular to make you look awesome. And they might not even know you in high school. They're just fabricating things and making you look awesome. So good. Yeah, so whatever party you guys are going to, good luck on that one, because I'd love to hear these stories of how they fabricated you into Wonder Woman or Superman. I see it. So anyways, and it's got the accelerated motion because they see you as the star. So if the chariot is still going, you still have the star. You're wishing upon a star. The relationship is wonderful. It's just, like I said, just needs a little breathing room. Yeah. But your person is a little depressed right now and a little fearful that it's not moving and that you're not listening to them or really taking them serious anymore. They feel like you've kind of learned that, I don't know, they feel like you kind of backed up a little bit. Yeah. And they're trying to really move towards this prosperity for you. The more that that you're kind of watching them, they're feeling that you might feel a little disappointed with them. Hold on a second. Why would they think that you're... They feel like they did something wrong. Oh, they felt like they couldn't give you the generosity. Look at that. They feel like they couldn't give you the generosity in the near future that they had before. So they're afraid that it's not going to be as balanced because they want to just keep being truthful with you. But the truthfulness is they are super happy and that you make them really, really happy. It just feels like they may not have the money. The prosperities with the Queen of Coins. They may not have the monies that they're used to spending on you. Or maybe they may have lost their job or something because it's showing generosity. I can't be as generous with you, Virgo, that you're used to me being generous with in the near future. So now I'm afraid that the relationship is going to crumble. And, but you know what, Virgo, you're not looking for that. That had nothing to do with anything. Them being generous and taking you out and holding you tight and doing all these things to where you can't breathe. That was the reason. It had nothing to do with spending money on you or any of these things. And it just feels like they feel like they can't spend the time with you. And they can't really spend the money, the prosperities, something of this nature. Something has kind of gone down and they feel really upset about this. They believe that you should have more. So they are going to tell you the truth. This person is really, you kind of have a doll on your hands over here, guys. I don't care if it's male or female. You have a doll on your hands. Yeah, they're maybe a little possessive. You might want to think of it that way, a little unbreathable. But you really do have a doll of a person on your hands because it shows that they really have a heart. Because when you start thinking about the things that I can't give you, Virgo, but I'll have to give you. But you're going to say it's not about the giving, it's about the love. But they're thinking about these things. They're worried about those things because they believe that you should have everything. They believe you should be the sun. They believe you deserve everything. And that's just, like I said, a doll of a person. They have so much respect and love for you. But yeah, I'm sorry, but they are a little codependent, and then it is. They're a little codependent, and they might have a little insecurities, and that might be why, and maybe that's why too, that they're a little insecure. That's why they want to be the best of the best of the best for you, because they see you as the best of the best of the best in the world. And yeah, they do have a little insecurities. It just feels like their prosperities are not exactly where it should be. They're a little slower and not moving the way that they were at one time. So, but that really does worry them because they want to be able to offer you the things and the dates and, and those things. But pretty much the relationship looks great and you have a traditional love going on over here. You're emotionally set where you're supposed to be. And I don't see you worried about that at all. You're just continuing to text and stay humble and true. And you're not worried about it at all. If anything, look at that. You're supporting them, saying it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about stuff like that. What are you worried about? Don't worry about that. So I would say that would be the biggest worry on my mind. I know you're dealing with this right now in the present, but in the near future, just really watch that because it does feel like they all of a sudden get a little down and out, and it's just because they really want to give you the best. Wow. Couldn't get any better than that. Shit. That's all everybody ever really wants, right? Is for somebody to be, in the end, no matter what, this person is genuine. This is a genuine person. You know why? Because they haven't hidden anything. The only thing that they did hide a little bit in the beginning was because they wanted their ego to be higher, right? So they tried to be like, I'm the best at this, and I'm the, but that's okay. That's okay, because that's a natural trait of us trying to pump ourselves up so that we can get your attention, right? But otherwise, in seriousness, this is a very genuine, true person. There's no real lies or nothing. There's a little bit of fabrications, but it's only because they're trying to make you look like you're the best of the best in the whole world. Who would do that for somebody? Because most people, when we want to fabricate something, it's usually about ourselves, right? Unless they're a child trying to fabricate for their parents. So I see nothing but a genuine person over here who's truly clingy, a little codependent, maybe a little insecure, but boy, do they sure do have their heart out for you. And like I said, if it's for the cross watchers, you got a Virgo that is true. And look at that, new love. And best card next. Give your relationship a chance. And let go control issues. Yeah, they do need to let go a little bit of the control issues. And I do see it, like, if you can't breathe a little bit, it could be considered to you, Virgo, as a control issue as well. So yeah, I could see it as being that as well. But I do believe that it says allow the situation to unfold naturally. I do believe that it will. But look, this family healing card keeps coming up also. So there could be something from their past that keeps them kind of like this as well, that they're also trying to get through. Okay. And that was it for you, my friends. Until next time, peace and love.